ladies, to the conversation. It's Lisa and Jo from Business and Heels right here at the end of the financial year. And today the show is about end of financial year amazing tips. And so we wanted to share with you our tips which will save you some time and money. But first of all, don't you just love Fridays? We do. In fact, we loved it so much, or love it so much, I should say, that we thought we'd give it a name. We thought we'd call it Frockless Fridays. Now, I'm sure that you guys all love Fridays too. I can see Lisa chuckling. She knew nothing about that. So, Lisa, just so you know, Frockless Fridays. Now, that doesn't mean you don't wear anything at all. It just means no frocks, right? So, I'm sure you guys love Fridays too. And if you do, please do send us a like. Now, Lisa, do tell more about this amazing opportunity, tips and tricks.
Yes. Well, given the end of financial year today, it's perfectly timed. And we're going to take you on a little bit of a journey around our bookkeeping story. And it gets more interesting. Many of you, we were out there with all our receipts together in a shoebox at one stage. We then moved on to all sorts of little different bookkeeping systems. And I think we've actually tried them all. And along the way, we found it pretty frustrating, I have to say. And Jo, as one of the primary users of our bookkeeping system, please share with us what's annoyed you most.
Yes, I do get all the good jobs. There's no doubt about that. Yes, I have grappled with the bookkeeping systems more than Lisa, although I must say she does take quite a few for the team as well. But look, there has been some, lots of frustrations for me. And I have to say, whilst I'm not the most savvy person technically, I'm a fairly competent user. And certainly our trusty bookkeeper, Michaela, has also had troubles with this particular one, which is around the fragility of the bank feed and really sort of not being able to get it to feed down and match up has been a great frustration. And I reckon it probably has only worked for us probably half of the time, which is just not, not good enough, particularly when you're, measuring your cash flow and so forth on a really regular basis. But of course, the other difficulty that I had was not being able to get the reports and customise them as I really wanted them, and certainly that Lisa demanded of me. And so the query, when you actually query how to do that, you can go into their help systems and so forth. But every now and again, you really just want to talk to a real person, and that hasn't been available either. And so I found that particularly frustrating.
Exactly. And so share with us some of your frustrations. We'd love to hear what they are. It's maybe something we've got in common.
Absolutely. That's certainly enough of my anger issues, but I'm sure you've got some of your own to share, Lisa. What would they be?
Well, so as we started on this journey, we decided to have a good look around the marketplace and see what was out there. And I have to say, this particular system that we're buying into, which I'll tell you all now is QuickBooks, is at half the price of the one that we're operating on.
Absolutely. And it's a real cheese off because, it's certainly, it's one thing to pay more money when you're getting better quality, but when you're paying more money just because of a certain brand name, then that's just not on. And we are all about breaking down some of those barriers and, testing and researching and making sure that we are getting apples for apples and really good value.
Exactly. And so we did a whole lot of homework then on the QuickBooks system. And I have to say, I was so impressed by the different things that you could do, particularly from the point of view of the reporting. You can actually pull reports out from a date range. And once you've got the report up, you can drill straight down into that particular report and get all the information you want without actually having to leave the QuickBooks system or go into different reports. And if you've got a problem, you can actually call someone in Australia and talk to them, which, today is pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite novel for sure. Yeah, and look, it's fair to say that QuickBooks most certainly ticked our bookkeeping boxes, and it's most likely to tick many of yours as well, as particularly as small, medium business owners out there. And, in true Business and Heels fashion, we do love connecting you with things that we find, and particular you know, areas that are great opportunities, resources or choices that you can make. And so we want you to obviously follow our journey and see if this is right for you. But Lisa, there's another really good feature before we sort of jump into that, and that is around the mobile version for startups and entrepreneurs. Did you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that sounded really cool.
Yeah, it's called QuickBooks for the self-employed, and this is actually what really sold me on the system. I just think this is so cool. So many small business owners, solopreneurs have got all their receipts in a shoebox and then they hand it to their accountant at the end of the year. In this system, you can actually hook it up onto your mobile phone and you can have your bank feed going in there. You can allocate a portion of certain expenses as you go through, like, you know, any of your home electricity if you're working in the home office. And then the other side of it, which I just loved, was that it forms this mobile logbook. And so as you go around with your phone, it tracks your movement.
For your driving, I see.
Yeah, and so instead of ever having to keep a logbook for your car, it's just so perfect. You know, and that's just so tedious. And then you've got it all there in one spot. And so it's a real time saver. So not only this app, but the other one, because of the way a lot of the systems and reporting works, it's very fast. So I think it's amazing. So it's going to be a bit of fun. Come along on a journey with us.
Absolutely. Look, it sounds like it's got the kitchen sink, and certainly some of the test bits and pieces that I've seen, you know, I'm really excited to start using it. And of course, if anybody can break a system, I can. We all know that. I seem to find bugs that even the programmers don't know that are there. So, but of course, what's really cool is that we've now formed a partnership with QuickBooks. And we're really keen to share our journey of our changeover and how it all works with all of the Business and Heels ladies out there, so that you can judge for yourself whether it's right for you, because at the end of the day, that's the real test, and it has to be right for you. And all we can do is, you know, share our you know, our journey and what we find, which we will do over a course of time. And there's also a link at the top of this video here, which you can check out and just find out a little bit more about that. We wish you all a fabulous weekend. Stay safe and have fun with purpose.
Cheers.